Today's agenda is about meeting the needs of Sustainable Development Goals by the United Nations by 2030. There are multiple objectives towards meeting the end goals for Sustainable Development Goals, be it for peace first and foremost, climate change, food security, ending poverty, prosperity, gender equality, and more. Allow me to expound on the considerations or the role of business and profits. The Philippines is a relatively low emitter of greenhouse gases, but it can contribute to global mitigation primarily through the efforts on energy transition, including a transition away from coal. This is the role of government. I will not dwell on this, be it for its inefficiencies due to transportation, food production, wastewater management, and general policies. Marketing can drive sustainable growth through innovation. Advertising ideally depends on helping companies create a more meaningful world for their customers by identifying a social purpose. We need less frivolous advertising and more purpose-driven strategies. It is marketing's role to showcase how their products might solve social issues given different social contexts. We can use the example of today's work from home many have opted for. As the future of marketing lies in creating experiences that make consumers' lives meaningful, the role of marketing executives is also evolving. To deal with the demands of the new generation of consumers, chief marketing officers should strive to align product and purpose, amplifying ethical values and commitments. Consumers should demand higher social and environmental ethics from companies. Marketing needs to shoulder more of the responsibility to solve some of the world's existing problems by aligning purpose and innovation, ethics, and business. Let's talk gentrification. We are currently witnessing upward mobility in commerce evidenced by ever-increasing prices, be it for food, services, real estate, general wages, and government licenses, be it for taxes and our contribution to social welfare. Awareness has to be our role in doing business. While government and big business have their roles and responsibilities, our entrepreneurs are required to comprehend, if not abide and contribute towards the United Nations developmental goals. Needs versus wants. The ever-expanding population and business have highlighted these differences. Ideally leaving the needs of the populace with the government for food, shelter and clothing, ideally to include education and health, and the wants to private business. The Superbrands Philippines Gold Standard, Climate Change, registered with the Intellectual Property Office, promotes compliance through awareness. In 2014, the United Nations initiated the Social Development Goals. This unprecedented global consensus and is the result of 193 countries coming together in agreement on a comprehensive and ambitious development agenda for people and planet towards 2030. These social development goals describe the most significant challenges and needs of our time and the goals for addressing these. Achieving these goals requires collective action across governments, civil society, the private sector, and dedicated individuals and communities, and needs to be matched with the necessary resources, innovation capacity, and partnerships to drive implementation. The private sector, in this context, is an indispensable partner and has a critical role to play in advancing the global development agenda. In developing countries, private sector operations constitute, on average, 60% of GDP, while generating 90% of jobs and 80% of capital inflows. The private sector further contributes to development by providing goods and services, financing social and economic investments through taxes, and creating innovative solutions to help tackle development challenges. It is important to recognize that the private sector is extremely diverse and not defined only by multinational corporations and industry giants. Unleashing the transformative capacity of the private sector for development is not possible without small and medium-sized enterprises and social enterprises. They create over 50% of formal jobs globally and many innovation leaps as well as startups. The shattering the misconception that business can either be for good or for profit. Leading brands argue that the intersection between purpose and profit is crucial for company resilience. Moreover, keeping the Sustainable Development Goals at the forefront of business branding and marketing conversations is also beneficial to the company's bottom line. Consumer demand for purpose-driven brands means that companies who amplify their positive social and environmental impacts will also maximize their revenues. The bottom line is that having a purpose is good business. It is the business of the future. Marketing can drive sustainable growth by the creation of compelling experiences at the intersection of purpose and innovation. Hence, effective advertising depends on helping companies create a more meaningful world for their customers by identifying a social purpose.